Today on the channel, we've got a double review. We're going to be looking at Professor X and Professor X Savage Land on Way I Got It Figured.
The Way I Got It Figured.
What's up, figure fans? Way I Got It Figured, back with a Marvel Legends review. This time, we're looking at the creator of the X-Men, the founder of the X-Men, the world's mightiest telepath, Charles Xavier himself, Professor X. And we've got him in two varieties, both of which were sort of check boxes for my X-Men collection that I've been growing since I've started the channel and everything. The a few years back they released the Professor X with the hover chair to go along with all your Jim Lee era X-Men. They released it, I don't want to say 2017 maybe. And then this year we got Professor X as a Target exclusive in the quote unquote Savage Land gear, which I don't know why they didn't just brand this X-Men 97, because the Savage Land gear is particularly part and parcel to what happened on the cartoon. This is actually just in the comic, it's like his suit, like if he goes like on a mission with the X-Men. And both of them can be used in the hover chair, so that's why I got both of them. Additionally, probably the head of the uh, new Xavier will probably replace the head of the old Xavier, regardless of what body you have him on. But if you're going to collect X-Men, I mean, to me, you got to have Charles Xavier. So we got Charles Xavier. So we're going to go over both of them. Of course, we're going to go over the hover chair version and the retro card version. And so I'm going to, run over the packaging real fast and get these guys open as quickly as we can. Get you out of here with some final thoughts. So we'll start with Xavier on the retro card. Safari suit in the style of the old Toy Biz packaging. We got Xavier with his little stuff here. Professor X Savage Land in the treacherous jungles of a hidden Antarctic valley. Charles Xavier finds himself without his powers alongside Magneto amidst a slew of prehistoric creatures. Looks good in the package. Comes with extra hands. 3 extra hands, which is a nice flex there, Hasbro. And a Cerebro helmet. So there's that. Next up, of course, we've got, it just says X-Men on the front, but it's, of course, Charles Xavier. Oh, he's from the 80th and 80 years of Marvel. So yeah, so I guess that was 2018 then when this came out. And I didn't realize that this was part of that, but yeah, I guess I should have. It's right there on the box. So they released that. They released Juggernaut and Colossus last year. We got this one this year. Of course, now we're doing the 85th anniversary stuff. So, you know, there's that. And on the back, you got your various insets. I like that. You got your effect for the hover chair. Also available with Squirrel Girl. Deadpool on a motor scooter, which Squirrel Girl got that same motor scooter. In fact, I probably could have gotten the Squirrel Girl, but I let somebody buy the last one from the Ollie's that I was at, but that's whatever. Got your little blurb there. X-Men, Professor Charles Xavier. well, it says professional Charles Xavier, better known as Professor X, is a highly gifted telepath and scientific genius who develops the Cerebro device to aid in the ability to control and manipulate psionic abilities. Professional Charles Xavier. Yeah. Got some nice artwork, Phil Noto-ish artwork. I don't think it's really Phil Noto, but it's Phil Noto. It evokes Phil Noto. Let's put it that way. So there's your packaging. So we're going to get both of these guys out of the package. Check them out. All right, so we got both of these Charles Xaviers out of the package. And I've gone to the liberty of setting them up so that they look good. I want this to be a quicker video, so don't want to go through a whole lot of stuff in terms of all the pieces and parts and all of that sort of thing. So I just went ahead and set them up. So you got your Xavier in his flight suit, or safari suit, or whatever you want to call it. And you got Charles Xavier in his suit sitting in the hover chair, classically, circa 1990 with Jim Lee and all of that. And then, of course, X-Men, the animated series, all that good stuff. You do get quite a few accessories with it, so I am going to go over those, as well as the ones that come with the retro card Xavier, but we're doing all this as one review. So you do get an extra head sculpt with the Professor X on the hover chair, the Shadow King possessed, I guess, kind of Farouk Amal head. That if you put it on here, it's going to look weird, but we're going to do it. You get the Cerebro helmet that comes with this Xavier, another Cerebro helmet that comes with this Xavier, and this one has a blast effect. So that you can have Xavier using his telepathy with it. This one has a port for the blast effect, but it does not fit because of these wires. You probably could get, I guess, just cut them and it would, but as it is, they don't work together. So I don't know if you really need the telepathic splooge, but you have it for there if that's what you want to do. You get 3 hands with the Savage Land Xavier, which of course I've swapped out one, and they give you the clue right there with this one in the box. He's using the double pointing fingers for the telepathy. As you know, Xavier often points at his head when he's using his telepathy. So you have that. Then real quick to swap out the head of the Shadow King. You can put it on Xavier in the chair, and it looks weird, but not as weird as it does if you try and put it on him and he's standing, because that body is very slight, and it's probably not going to stand anyway. So there's that. And then you can take this head, or the head of the X-Men 275 Xavier, who has another awesome portrait from Paul Harding, by Paul Harding, and stick it on him in there, which is the main exercise that I wanted to do with this entire setup. It's the whole purpose for this. So with him in the chair, he looks fine, but if you turn the chair to the side, you can see the head is definitely a little bit big for this body, but you're not going to be really looking at it for that. So from front on, it looks fine. It looks great. And who knows, maybe one will be in the other chair, maybe the other one won't, whatever. You just swap the heads between them. So that's kind of what I plan to do with that. So far, works out. We'll go ahead and give everybody their respective head back. That'll allow us to do some comparisons. So let's get that done. All right. So we got some quick comparisons to do here. So the first one, we will bring in Secret Wars Wolverine. His weird ankle. There you go there. We're going to slap Farouk Amal on a Kingpin body for the Shadow King. And, you know, I mean, it's a little small. I just think it looks really off on Charles Xavier. But, you know, there you go. That's what they gave you the head sculpt. And in lieu of me having more X-Men figures around currently, last but not least, because he's my favorite character, we've got Marvel Legends 20th Anniversary Captain America. So there you go, some quick comparisons. Now we're going to get you out of here with some final thoughts. Final thoughts on Savage Land, Professor X, and Professor X in the hover chair from Marvel 80th Anniversary. For me, the experiment is a success. I would say from the experimental standpoint of being able to customize these guys to do what I wanted to do with them, exactly the purpose that I bought them for, I'm going to say it's like a 9 out of 10. And the 9 is probably just because this body is just so weak in general. But it does work. You know, everything works for how you want to do it. I mean, I guess you could even put Xavier on a newer, better suited body and stick him in there and it would just be just as fine. But Xavier with the black and blue tie and everything, that it just works. So you're good there. Hover chair is cool. You got some little playability with that. And yeah, you need Xavier. I need Xavier. He's the founder of the X-Men. I need him in my X-Men collection. And so yeah, I got what I wanted. 2 versions of Xavier. Now I have 3. I went from 0 to 3 Xaviers in the space of 1 year. Not even in the space of 1 year. In 1 calendar year. I think I'm Xaviered out now. But it's cool because now I can do all those things that I want to do with them. So that's going to do it for this one. If you're new to the channel, please like and subscribe. Got plenty more Marvel Legends collection stuff coming. I do sort of consider myself to be like moving towards the end of my Marvel Legends collecting, mainly because I have most of the guys that I want. Some of them I'm waiting for them to make, like for example, you have the Archangel that they just brought out, X Factor. Well, X-Force, the black and silver version. I'm waiting for them to do the blue and purple version of that figure. And when they do, I'll get it. So, you know, I'm not going to be done with Marvel Legends, I guess is what I'm saying. There's things down the road that I'll be getting. But I really have gotten a lot of what I've wanted from Marvel Legends. Now we're doing Marvel versus Capcom crossover stuff. That's what like keeping it alive for me right now. So but even with that, we got plenty of Marvel Legends to go. So have no fear for that. Till next time, everybody stay safe. Happy collecting. See you on the next video. Peace.
The way I got it figured.